Hey guys, Old Blue Accord here again, and gonna go ahead and do an update video in the garage. You're gonna hear some noise in the background. It's July 4th, or by the time I put this video out, it'll be July 4th. So anyway, let's happy birthday America. Let's have a little beer. Have me a cold Miller. Put that down. We'll talk about key fobs. Well, you saw my last video a few times ago. I couldn't get the Chevrolet to start, and it ended up being the key fob or the key fob battery, I guess. And there's a backstory to all this key fob stuff, and it seems simple, but it's gotten kind of convoluted in the last maybe 30 days. So I'll figure I'll try to go through it as best I can. So in general, I keep one key fob in my pocket, and then I keep the other key fobs to all the cars in a can in the house. It's not this can exactly, but it's a can. Let's just call it the can. And it started about 30 days ago. The Jeep key wouldn't work. So the Jeep key started out with, I'm driving and I get an alarm on the heads-up display, or the EICV, I think it's called, and I didn't really see what it was saying, but it's beeping at me, so I thought it had something to do with the key, so I took the key and put it in the cup holder, because a lot of times when you put it in the cup holder, the signal is a little bit stronger, because I believe it reads from there on most cars. And it seemed to go away, but I noticed when I got back in it that night that the door locks weren't working correctly. And like I've told you before, I always carry an extra set of batteries with me. So I went ahead and I was at work, so I went ahead back into work, got a screwdriver, and I put a fresh battery in it. Went back out, and then it seemed like everything was working okay. Well, flashback, I went ahead and used this key fob, but when I went home, I went and got my other key fob. Well, my other key fob, which is actually this one, is dead. I thought, okay, well, I'll put another battery in it and that'll fix that. No, it's still dead. Doesn't do anything. It won't start the vehicle. I've actually put another battery in it just to check, and it just doesn't work. And this was about 30 days ago. So that's what makes this the story gets a little stranger from there, because about the same time, or close to the same time, one of the wife's key fobs on a totally different vehicle, 2014 Subaru, it went bad, or it actually stopped working. And it's a little bit of a different setup, as you can see, than the Jeep. I like to say Chrysler, but I guess it's Fiat Stellantis now. But anyway, that also went bad. In fact, both of them went bad. So I'm like, okay, bad luck's bad luck. We put a battery in this one, it doesn't work. Put a battery in the other one, it appeared to work for a short period of time. And now, currently, with the Subaru, neither one of these keys works. So at least you have this, obviously, mechanical key, I call it, and the door is an open lock, so you can unlock it and get in there. And when you do that, about 50% of the time, and we can't figure out the sequence of events, but about 50% of the time, the horn goes off. So you have to stick this ignition, turn the key, start it really quick. A little bit annoying, but we've been obviously going to live through it. And the big thing is we've taken it to the dealership, because also the tire pressure monitoring system's not working on it either. And that flashes back to a time that I took the car and I put the tire for my Jeep, which was flat, in the back, and then the tire monitor seemed to not be working. I don't know if the flat tire in the Jeep interfered with it somehow, but ever since then we cannot get the tire pressure monitoring system to work correctly. I think I've taken it to the garage, and I think twice they've checked it, and all the sensors in the tires are working. But it's a little fishy that all of a sudden this key deal is also not working about the same time. It was a few weeks later, but this has all happened in 30 days, so try to keep, it's kind of hard to keep track because it's kind of maddening. But so right now we're down 2 keys for the Subaru. Each one of these is $199. So 2 of them would be $400. Plus it's $69 to program each key, and they say it's non-refundable. So that tells me that it doesn't always work. And I don't know, if you're going to the Subaru dealership, you would think they'd fix the car 100% correct, but if you ever been to a Subaru dealership, don't think that, because they are pretty keen on not fixing your vehicle, especially if it's a little older. And to be fair, this vehicle is almost, I guess it's 10 years old, but you'd like to think they'd be able to do something with it. And yeah, we have tried batteries, obviously, you know. So we're kind of stuck on the Subaru, and that's probably going to be a separate topic, I think. But let's just slide that out of the way. And we went back to the Jeep. I've got 1 key that works and 1 key doesn't. This one does not work. I am going to try to take it to the dealership and have them reprogram this key or see what's going on. I believe they can read it. I also found this service bulletin. These TSBs are kind of nice. And this one dealt with, and I have had this happen before, so it'll give you the symptoms. And one of the symptoms, I've had this key not detected while you're actually driving. I think that's what happened the day that popped up, but I didn't see it. So even though the key is in your possession or inside the car or whatever, there's a little glitch with whatever, I don't know if it's the body control module or what actually looks at this. Now here's a neat trick, and I'm not really sure because this is for 15. It says if the plastic edge of the key is pressed and held against the stop-start button, I don't know what they mean by plastic edge because this is all plastic, but I believe if you hold that against the stop button, there's an RFID chip in here also that it should read and get you away from all this, but it doesn't always work, and that's what this TSB says. Key not detected message is displayed in an instrument cluster, even though you press the edge of the key is held against the start-stop. And they have like a little, and this is mostly for the dealership, they have a way to you kind of flash the what you're doing is flashing, I guess, the BCM or whatever, and then they know there's a glitch. And this has been out a while. This came out in 2015, so. But TSBs are cool. That's nice to kind of just do a little research. It's a little hard to find these, and I don't know if you can buy like a whole kit of them. Maybe that would be really nice because there's all kinds of little weird glitchy things that can be fixed with a TSB. Anyway, so there is the SRT issue. Now these keys are only about $50, so that's not too bad. So 2 keys new, $50, and then I'm not sure how much the dealership would do to program them. My dealership, it treats me pretty well. I would like to think that they would not charge me too much. You can also get something called Alpha OBD, which is a program that you put on either a laptop and or a handheld, and then you can use the OBD port, and then you can actually kind of crack what goes on with Jeep, Dodge, Durango, all these Dodge Chrysler vehicles that use that Uconnect, and you can actually add and subtract features that the dealership can generally do. Not played with that yet, but they claim you can get the right correct PIN number and do your own key fobs with aftermarket key fobs. We'll see. I may go that route, but I think I'm going to go to the dealership first, because the dealership, to me, maybe I'm thinking old school is, they can fix it and they're going to guarantee it. I hope. That's going to be another project. So then we're back on to our original. Let's push this out of the way. So our original deal was, if you remembered, was that I cannot get the Chevy Camaro to start, and what it ended up being was the battery in the key fob was low. So here's the battery, and we'll get the meter out. And you want to, when you check a battery, you want to remember that these batteries, you're usually marked on here 3 volts. They're brand new, they're gonna read over 3 volts, and then under, you can see that was 2.7. So the 2.7 on the Chevy is not working, so we're gonna get that out of the way. Now a new one is gonna read, and I just checked one. Let me see if I can get it out of here while I'm talking, but these new ones read about 3.3 volts. So you're really looking, I know it says 3 volts, but you want to think of it as a plus or minus percentage. And Guess I should have took this out first. Dang, that's in there. And then, like I said, I always carry these in the glove box and I carry a few because, you know, heat and cold and all that stuff. The first one you take out of here might not be any good, and they're probably made in China, so half of them aren't any good. But it'll say 3 volts, 2032, and then we'll just go ahead. Let's see if I can do it without taking the sticker off. We'll check this one. I won't be able to get in here. Fireworks in the background. It's hot in my garage, of course. Yeah, 3.286, so almost 3.3. That's where you want to be. And that fixed my first Chevrolet key fob. Now this one I haven't changed out, but I'm going to, so I'm going to do that, put that there and there. And I hope, that this key fob is good. So that's where I've been, and you gotta believe me, this all happened with like in 3 or 4 weeks. That it just was like a disaster of key fobs, and they're expensive. Like I said, the Subaru one's $299. This is gonna probably cost me anywhere from $30 to $50 a piece. That's $100 plus the dealership deal, just to get your vehicle going and have all the features that you have on your key fob. I've got the 5-way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I can open up my back hatch. I can also have automatic start. Hopefully, when they program that, I'll still have all those features. We will see. And the same kind of for the wife. The wife wants to be able to, unlock and lock the doors without causing the alarm to go off every time. And we'd also like to get the tire pressure monitoring system working also, which we think is the same module. It's got a little bit confusing with Subarus, but we think it's the same module. So that's where we're at with key fob. So I'm going to call this video Key Fob Madness because it is a little fishy that the storage ones also went bad at the same time, and the storage ones are very far away from the car. They're not like right, a lot of guys just keep them right in the garage. It's a little fishy that everything just goes bad at once. I mean, age is a thing with batteries, but this one hadn't been used. This is like your original dealership, I call it, key with the little thing on it. I never used this one. So this one got used very little, and it doesn't work. So how does that battery just go dead? I don't know. The other one was used decently. And it's kind of the same with this deal is the key. I don't know if it's, and I sometimes wonder if it's taking the battery out, scrambles it somehow, and then it needs to be reprogrammed. That's possible on a very, very low battery. I took the battery out pretty quick and put it right back in, so I didn't, kind of fool around. So if there's a way to store power in here with a capacitor, I don't know. Getting a little complicated, but yeah. So, yeah, I don't have another drink while I think about it, but pretty crazy. I'm going to call this Key Fob Madness. It's actually really Key Fob Hell, because you're looking about 4 or 5. I didn't even price out the Chevrolet key fobs yet, and I doubt there's any kind of warranty on any of this kind of stuff. I mean, some people might try to do a warranty deal, but I doubt it's going to be happening. So my best thing to tell you is the same that I've been is carry a few extra batteries for whatever key fob you have, and I keep these in the glove box, and just change them out every couple years. That's probably safe, and then maybe swap key fobs back and forth to make sure they're working. That's possible. It's a little bit puzzling. I don't think, my family has a thing that somebody's messing with me and zapped all the key fobs somehow. I just don't think that's possible. Funny to think about, but I just don't think that's possible. And that's where we're at. Key Fob Madness. I'll keep you updated on that. Otherwise, everything in the garage is about the same. Air doesn't work. It's hotter than Hades in here. I have not done the 340,000 on the old Blue Accord, but I will. I just want to get it filmed correctly. I got a mic. I need to practice with it a little bit because obviously I'm going to do it while I'm driving. It's not much fun to do it just taking a picture. That's what videos are for. And yeah, other than that, Camaro's working good. One thing it did save me with the Camaro is I had the hood open, so I could verify that the voltage was correct with a meter, whereas if you don't have these key fobs working, you can't even get in the trunk to get to the battery to get I think you can. I think you can take the mechanical key out of there and do it, and I've got to find that out. But at the time, I could not figure that out, and so that could really stick you. And obviously, I filmed those videos in real time as it was happening. I didn't just, stage all that. So you could tell I was a little frustrated. Sometimes you don't think too clearly, but thank God it was just that, because getting it out of the garage with no battery, with the car in gear, the wheels, the emergency brake on, and the car's low, and dragging it out of here would have been quite a mess. So I think I'm going to start keeping the hood open on the Chevrolet, and just in case, so I know if my battery is dead or not, or that way I can at least jump it off. It's not going to hurt anything. I just did a video about leaving your hood open. It doesn't drain the battery, or at least it doesn't in my car. I went 4 weeks, and right now I actually don't have it. Let's see if we can see. See, right now I have it down, but when I think about it, probably a good idea to just leave it ajar. Not going to hurt anything. Anyway, so that's where we're at with that, and I want to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Got quite a few new subscribers, and I'll keep trying to give you good content. And Old Blue Accord, over and out. Oh yeah, and don't forget 3gs.com, support them. A lot of good information on there about 3rd generation Honda Accords. And also don't forget Camaro6.com. That's my other favorite forum, so for the Camaro. Thanks a lot.